Right, year 11. Very quick feedback from me now on some recent question sixes that you did. I'll go through what you did well and what you need to improve. Okay, the question was, write an article for a school or college magazine in which you persuade the readers to take up an activity of your choice. So you had to choose an activity and write for a school or college magazine. It's a persuasive piece, right? So you're trying to get them to take it up. Strengths of it were definitely golden sentences, which worked well, and word choices, which were good. So you finally getting the hang of varying your sentence structures, which is so important. And I think that is helping you to make better word choices. So you're thinking more carefully about the style of your writing. That's great. Areas for development, more understanding of the form and audience that you're writing for. So what form is it? Here you need to show that it's an article, and it's an article aimed at school children and possibly teachers. And you need to develop ideas into more detail. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this one starts. Firstly, what is a hobby? A hobby is something that you enjoy. Could be easy, could be hard. It's not bad. You've got a nice sentence type there. You've got a question to start with. You've got a discourse marker firstly. What it doesn't say, and what I've written here, is it doesn't show me that it's for a school or college magazine. Okay, it doesn't show me that it's an article. It doesn't show me that it's a school or college. There's no reference to school. There's no reference to students. Okay, I'll show you how to do it in a minute. What do you think of football? Football is both exciting and tiring. Exciting because it's a very addictive and fun game. Tiring because you have to run a lot. Brilliant use of golden sentence here. Really sounds sophisticated, but again, I can't see that it's a school or college magazine. Why not go bowling? Clearly persuading, isn't it? On a boring Monday evening, it's a great way to socialise with your mates. You get a sense here it's been for young people. Okay, look, bowling's exciting and thrilling. Get back into this golden sentence stuff. Brilliant. But not showing me it's a school or college magazine. This is a bit better. Start to learn a new language. So you've got a headline, which you might have in an article. Right? You've got an author here. Life-changing, spectacular, and surprising. This is what languages are. It's a great opening sentence. Clearly persuasive. Clearly a golden sentence. But you can develop it. Do you want to get fit? Tennis is the thing for you. Okay, so question and answer, not bad. But I'm not getting a sense that it's an article or that it's for students. Okay, it's just for an article for students. Ever thought about bungee jumping? Same thing. Right, so similar start, and again I'm writing. You need to show more awareness of form. How might you do it? Okay, you might write something like this. You might have a headline: terrific trampolining. If you're writing about trampolining, okay, just make something up really quick. If you can't think of something, don't worry about it. But it would at least show that it's an article. I really like the idea of a little introductory thing like this. With the purchase of new trampolines in the PE department, the sport is becoming big news in our school. We asked Year 11 champion trampolinist Harvey Jones to tell us more. Okay. So this little, and then you'd start your article. Okay. Then you'd go into, have you ever considered trampolining? Okay. You have this little introductory bit from like the editor of the magazine, which introduces the article. Let's look at another example. Let's say you're doing a speech. How do you start? Well, if you're doing a speech, if you've been asked to write a speech, you're doing it to the people and they're really there in front of you in real life. So you might say, first of all, I'd like to thank you very much for coming along to this evening's event. It'd be a really good way to start a speech. But you see how that's different to if you're writing an article. You wouldn't say thank you for coming along and reading this article, but you would if they're standing there right in front of you. You might say thank you for coming. I'm grateful for the chance to express my views to you on this important issue. And then you're into the main body of your speech. What about if there's a letter? Well, then you have Dear Sir, Madam. Note that it's not Madam with an E on the end, which you keep doing. I'm writing to you on a topic of great importance, and off you go. Okay? Depends how formal or informal it is. Depends who you're writing to. Remember we looked at that one about the council. If you're writing to the council, you've got a formal letter, and you try and get across your point straight away. The website. Okay, here at worldtravel.com, we are always interested in the experience of our users. Here's what happened when one of them, Geordie Mulvaney, visited Munich in Germany. And then the article starts. But you're showing that it's a website. You've got worldtravel.com, you've got users. Okay? That's it. The other thing is developing ideas. This is thinking before you start, trying to find more to say, trying to find more developed paragraphs. A couple of you wrote where you've talked about your sport, you found one thing about your sport, it's exciting or it's good for you, and that was it. That's all you really had to say, and you just, each paragraph basically said the same thing in a slightly different way. Try and think of 3 or 4 reasons that you can develop, that you can dwell on, right? If you did bungee jumping, persuading people to take up bungee jumping, yeah, you might have it's a real thrill and it's exciting. That could be a paragraph that you write and you explain and describe in there what it's like and it's exciting. On its own, let's think of other reasons. What about paragraph 2? It will impress your friends, make you more attractive. It make you seem like a more interesting person. You have something to tell your grandkids. Okay, so you could write about that. You'd write a few sentences about that. Imagine going to dinner, um, Christmas, and being able to keep your family on the edge of their seats with your tales of danger, or whatever. Your third point, your third paragraph could be, it looks great on a CV. It shows that you're fearless. It'll show that you're someone who is interested in the world. So you'd write a lot about that, how it might help you get a job. And then paragraph 4, life's too short not to take some risks. You could, do you remember we talked in class about, you could say, in 10 years' time you'll be going to the same job at the same office in the same day, the same time every day of your life. Why don't you take opportunities now to do something exciting and risky? Oh, and the other thing, which I'll just add on to here, is you could also, so you do this for argue, but you could do it for persuade as well. You see the opposite point of view. You recognise some people won't like bungee jumping. You say, oh, because some people say it's a really dangerous sport. Maybe you give an example of sort of thing like that. But then you argue against it. However, I disagree because blah 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 blah, right? Or this isn't true because. So that's a really good way to give yourself an extra decent paragraph. Argue the opposite point of view and argue against it. If you see what I mean, right? So some people say football is a complete waste of time, and the people who play it are overpaid thugs. However, this is not the case. Doesn't really reflect the average footballer on a Sunday afternoon in the park who's just enjoying themselves and enjoying being as part of a team. Okay, so what you want to do is when you're practicing question 5, 6, practice planning the ideas before you start. Right, that's it. I hope that's helpful. What I suggest to you now is go to the question 6 video on the 10 Watt Challenge website. Do some question 6 practices. Even if you just practice planning them through, that would be helpful.